Yes, you're here on the connection with the one and only Jazzy J. I have an interview with hip hop artist Tree representing the 716 Niagara Falls area, Alabama in the house. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
It's your boy Tree, you know what I mean? In Niagara Falls, grinding it out, Down International Incorporated, doing my thing right now. Hopefully to get on top one day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I just want to say that, we was talking like on Monday. For most of you guys that weren't tuning in last Monday, Monday this past, we were discussing his brand new single, Summer Love, and he was giving a shout out to his fans that called in from Mississippi and Jamaica. Now, I just want to know, how does that feel for you to know that your music is reaching that many people?
Well, first off, it just lets me know that with all the grinding that I actually did and the hard work that I put into and I put God first, anything is possible. And the fact that I actually got that response, and when I heard it myself, I was blown away. Honestly, I didn't expect anyone to, call in like that. I left the link, I left your, the request line and everything for them to call in if they liked it, and apparently they liked it. And it's a great feeling when you see the hard work that you put into your music and the love you have for your music, and you see that you can touch other people. I mean, it was a beautiful feeling. I really can't even describe it, honestly. I had chills down. It gave me goosebumps. It made me smile, and just lets me know that hey, if I could touch one person's soul and make them feel the way I felt in that song, about one song, and I felt like I accomplished a lot. So the one thing I gotta say, my mom called me when I was Tampa. And she said, Eric, I'm proud of you. And those words, being a kid, never really hearing that, you hear a good job, you did a good job, but when you hear your parents say that you're proud of, they're proud of you, it's a different feeling. I was talking to my man coach about it, and it really gave me a different perspective of music and what I was doing, because I'm following my dream, and when your parents call you and tell you that, it was all worth it,
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Like I said before, when you send me your music, I definitely wanted to check it out, and I'm glad that I did listen to your music, because I get emails from people a lot, and I'm glad that I pressed the button and listened to the sound that you was putting out there, because like I said before, when I spoke to you previously, that I said that you're bringing a hip hop R&B type of flow back to the music industry. Not only, underground is starting to come up and be mainstream. To me, that's how I'm visualizing it. And I kind of think that maybe record labels might not exist one day, because so many people are out here grinding and just building a fan base themselves, that they don't no longer really need to push a mainstream to get where they're trying to go. And I'm really glad that I accidentally listened to your music and everything else, and now I'm pushing on the station, because your fan base is growing and everything else. So thank you for sending me that.
That's no problem. That's one of the the facts of grinding. You try your best to reach out to whoever you can reach out, and you never know, someone that you least suspect that can definitely put you in the right direction that you need to go.
Yeah, and when you're out here, you traveled a lot. How many places have you been to, pushing your music? What areas have you been to, pushing your single, your music, everything?
Well, first, I started pushing it, in Alabama, the hardest, that's where I'm originally from. I pushed it there the hardest. The people that you grow up with, you kind of want them to know, and know your music and feel your music, and then I came up to New York, as far as Buffalo, and started, pushing as well, but I didn't, honestly, to be honest with you, I didn't push the way that I should have been pushing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that as a grinder now, that I didn't push the way I should have been, pushing it. I had a couple of artists, local artists, that told me, hey, Tree, you got talent. You really need to, doing more than what you're doing, you're selling yourself short. And at that point, I really felt like, I should really do my thing and really start, and then I pushed my first single, and, the response that I got from it, it was like, hey, you really got talent. And when I pushed that single, Dreams was the first one that I pushed, it was like, whoa, I was like, because normally I was in a group, you know, and then when I started off to get my, you know, my own thing, so I've been a single artist. When I actually pushed it, you know, people were responding, and they were like, hey, this is good, Tree, you should really do more things, and, you know, you got a nice flow, you're talking about real things, you're not talking about, you know, stuff that doesn't matter anymore. Like, you know, honestly, you know, the people in the underground, you know, I respect them because, you know, I respect the grind. But a lot of them, you know, they try to be like these guys who already have deals. You know, I've heard songs, people talking about Molly. I mean, songs, people talking about, you know, all these drugs and stuff. And, you know, no offense to them, you know, if that's what you know, you do. But in the same sense, you know, I want to bring it back to reality, real hip hop. You know, I want to rap about real things, and that whole Summer Love was just, you know, from a personal experience, and I wanted an R&B beat to it and a real smooth mellow beat. You know what I'm saying? And when I recorded it and I did it at DJ A1 Studios, when I did that, he was just like, you know, that's the new LL Cool J. You know, I Need Love, and I just started laughing at it, and I didn't really think about it until after I started passing out my CDs in Tampa and performing in front of, you know, this music conference that I had. You know, shout out to H. You know, he put that together, and then, you know, I never got the response that I needed to get until I really started sitting down and pushing my music and grinding.
And speaking of like stage performance, how does it feel for you to go on stage and feed off your fans' energies? Like I know that a lot of artists say that it's nothing better than that. What is it like to interact with people that really dig your music?
Honestly, it is the best feeling in the world. It really is, to know that you have someone feeling your music and feeling what you're saying and can actually, you know, relate to what you're saying. I definitely gotta just say this. When I was in Tampa, you know, no one knew me at all. No one ever heard of me. But when I got on stage and performed Dreams, and then I performed this song called I Ain't Going, I got so much feedback from that. Till one guy, you know, his name was Lucky, came up to me and said, you know what, I normally don't even ask people for their CD, but you spitting some real stuff, man, and I want to have a CD. And, you know, that alone with someone that don't even know you, when you can touch them by them actually listening to what you're saying, you know, that's the best feeling in the world. And, you know, at that point I felt like, yo, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and something like that happened in shows like the power of music, like how music could touch people in all different places. Like, I mean, you know, it's crazy because you have your fans in Florida, you have people here in Niagara Falls, you have people in Jamaica that support you now. Like, I mean, you're touching people like internationally, and most people just stay in the same area. You know, they try to get known in that one state, but you're taking chances and you're traveling and stuff like that. I got to commend you on that because you're truly grinding.
Right. Well, you know, that whole Jamaica trip, you know, it was vacation, but, you know, I took a CD down there, and pretty much, you know, guy, I was handing out the CD, and, hey, this you? I was like, yeah, this is me, sing. And I'm like, you know, right then on the spot, I had to do what I did, you know, and they were, you know, they were amazed. They were like, okay, I'll check you out. And the fact that Cornell called in, you know, I got to give a shout out to him. I salute him. You know, long distance and all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it was the fact that he, you know, if you know Jamaicans, you know, they love reggae. And I really feel like the reason why he made like Summer Love is because of that R&B feel that he gets from it. So, you know, I don't even, you're right, you never stop grinding as an artist. You know, people have their managers, but, you know, as an artist, you never can lose sight of what you're really trying to achieve.
The goal.
Me going everywhere, you know, gotta grind.
Yeah, the goal is like the most important thing. Like, I mean, you can see over here, even at the radio station, I'm always grinding, like trying to figure out what new interviews and who else I could bring up and who I could expose the audience to. And that's the best thing about being here on the station is that I get to meet artists, so many underground artists. I've met so many underground artists, not only from 716, but from California, a lot of different places, Texas. And it's dope that there's so many music artists that's out here striving, and they have the support of the local communities and stuff like that, that's buying their music, that's willing to go on iTunes and purchase their music, because it shows that people are still interested in real music. And it's hard to find artists, you know, in the mainstream that get that much exposure, but when they're talking about positivity. You know, it seemed like more like the more negative, the flaunty stuff, like you know, chains and cars and everything else is pushed more. So like what I try to do with the station is trying to expose people not only to the mainstream music that I can play, but also playing the underground music that most mainstream people won't take a chance with, you know, to get the audience exposure to.
Right. But my thing is this, Jen. You know, we talked about it the other day as well. But, you know, we as hip-hop artists and R&B artists, we really need to support each other. And, you know, we actually have a concert. We actually need to go in and, you know, act like we know how to act. Even if we don't know how to act, at least go in and act like you know how to act, you know. Act like, you know, when your mom watching you when you're younger, and you know if you did anything wrong, you're just going to get popped, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, everybody goes in there and it's like, I call it the beer muscles. They get drunk and then, you know, everybody wants to fight. And then, you know, it messes it up for a lot of artists that are coming up now that are actually grinding and trying to do their thing. And like, a lot of them won't want hip-hop just because of the, you know, past.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like we're trying to get this concert going for a lot of you guys that's out there listening right now, and try to get this positive concert going during like happy hour, like 6 p.m. in June. And we want everybody to come out. We want people to celebrate. We don't want no violence, no nothing. Like, leave all the drama at home. Like, it's already hard out here as an artist to get exposure, but when you do get the chance, you guys need to come out here and support these people, because they're entertaining you, and there's nothing better than to go somewhere and actually have fun and to go home and, like, you know what I mean? So it's important. And especially when you guys are out here, so you got to support the artists, especially the artists, not just the fans. The artists, you have to support each other, because, I mean, like I said before, if you have your own fan base and then you support this other person that's growing your fan base, you guys need to work together, because, like I said, like on a Facebook status, that I felt like 716 has so many people that's out here talented, you know, artists that really legit have talent, that can sing, dance, everything else, even doing the stuff that I'm doing, but we're not working together. And that's what I'm trying to do, is try to get people out there to work together and to, you know, come together, make songs together, you know, make programs together, for positive programs, you know, to get everybody out. It don't have to be nightclub-ish all the time. It could be the daytime, just celebrating life, you know, and bringing the positivity to the community. That's what we're trying to do.
And you're right, there are a lot of underground artists out there. You know, I can name a few myself. Like, even with the Summer Love, Ray Sale, you know, another artist that I highly respect. You know, he's judges me. And we collab, and you know, you see the results. It's beautiful. You know, Nubian, you know, the group Rain, you know, you got Exhibit, you know, Explicit, you know what I'm saying? You got Coach. I mean, there's a lot of people out here, you know, forgive me if I, forget anyone, Black Abstract. There's a lot of people that I really respect in the game, you know, in the 716, you know, J.O.B. Entertainment. You know, everybody grinding, everybody trying their best to, you know, go to the same place. And, you know, it just kills me whenever when someone just knocks someone else's hustle. You know, hey, all of us are not going to make it, but let's not be the one to crush someone's dream. You know what I mean? Like, even if it doesn't work, at least support. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm selling my mixtape. Purchase it. You know what I mean? Because you never know. It may be something that I always purchase someone's, you know, mixtape that comes to me, because it may be a song on there that I'll be like, hey, you know what, that song you did, if you can do something with me like that, hey, you know, let's work together. It may be something that he, you know, listen at my music and, you know, he can help me out, or she, whatever the case is. But, you know, I just wish that we could all see that and, you know, come together and just, you know, it could be 716 could be huge.
Yeah, it really could.
Completely huge if we all work together, you know, and act like we want to go to the same place and not bring each other down.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's already enough people that, you know, consider like a fan base that, you know, you have haters as well that's not performers or anything else. So, I mean, any support counts, and there's nothing better than having support from your peers and artists that's trying to do the same thing you're doing. So a lot of you guys is out there listening to the station right now, or fans that's out there listening to the station, try to spew positivity, try to support these artists. If you notice, like, a lot of times I'm on my Facebook page, I'm like copying and pasting all the artists for 716. It got a new release. Bam, I'm putting it on there because I want people to get the exposure and listen to these artists and support these artists. And it's not just about becoming mainstream. A lot of people think it's just about, well, once I get to this. It's not about that. It's about doing what you love and getting a real good fan base and becoming, successful in your own way. Success isn't built off of how many records you sell and everything else. It's about how many people you touch with your sound, with your music, and being honest and being real with yourself.
Get it right on the head.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like me personally, I ain't even interviewing myself, but let me just say this. But I honestly, I want to be underground and I want to stay underground because I really want to be able to make underground mainstream. Change the way that radio is, not only be having radio from, the mainstream artists, but giving that underground exposure as well so artists could get the chance that they don't usually have from other stations, and it's hard to get, local, national-wide or national syndications to give underground artists a chance because they just see labels. And I don't see labels, I just see talent. So.
That's every time I talk to you, it's always a good conversation. We both feel the same way about a lot of things.
Yeah. So, of course, most of the time, we're going to be wrapping up. We give artists a chance to give shout outs to people and anybody that you influenced, if you want to talk about that briefly. If you want to give shout outs to any of your supporters, fans, anything like that.
I mean, to all my fans, you see I'm trying to build my fan base on Facebook as much as I can. I can't really just single out one person, I mean, there are fans that actually do way more than others, some in Canada, some in Alabama, but I do have to say my biggest supporter is my mom, through it all, regardless of what happens. I mean, I could be, any kind of mood, and I can put up a Facebook status, and she's always going to be there to say something to uplift me, saying, using my own lyrics to uplift me, which is the funniest thing ever. If you don't know what I mean by, what I'm saying, I made a song for my daughter, and at one part of the song I say, the sky's the limit, I'm in it to win it. And regardless of how I'm feeling, and it could be the most random thing ever, she would write that, and it just brings me right back to, hey, you know what you're doing, you know what you're supposed to be doing, and it's a real eye opener, and my mom and my grandma being the biggest, influence in my life, growing up without a father, you know what I mean? It was pretty tough, but my mom and my grandma made sure that, I had the best training possible, and but, I mean, Tina Cox is my manager. I definitely got to give a big shout out to her. Just basically did whatever she could to, get me where I needed to be. She seen something in me that I didn't even see. And, I definitely got to give her a shout out. I give you a shout out, you know what I'm saying? You basically, putting me out there, listening to me, and I'm putting everybody on your radio station and your page, trying to get you out there. We networking as well. JLB Entertainment, you know what I mean? Hey, they're my boys in Alabama all day. I represent JLB as well, Them boys grinding, they definitely turning up down there. They doing their thing as well, Coach, I gotta give it up to Coach, you know what I mean? Nubian, like I said, Raycel, my man all the way down in, Florida, T.O., H. There's a lot of people I want to give, shout outs to, Battle Royal Entertainment, Desert Storm, all those people I've had conversations with and people that seen things in me that, told me to not stop grinding and, I will be there one day. So, I definitely got to give them, their shout outs and pretty much, if I'm missing one, I'm sorry, but like I said, my fans are the most important, They make sure I'm taken care of, and there's one thing in particular that always makes sure I'm good, and I never forget it, when I get there, definitely taking care of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, other than that, hey, everyone else, I'm glad you support Tree. I'm happy and forever grateful that you support Tree. Keep believing in Tree because this is not the end of the road. It's nothing but bright stars from here on out.
All right, and I respect you. I thank you again for calling in, and like I said, I got to give a shout out for you and for supporting my radio station and seeing my vision the same way I see your vision, and can't wait to work with you on several projects and new project that we have going on with this whole concert situation, and of course we're going to be advertising and talking about that. Do you have a fan page for your fans to find you?
Oh, of course. You can find me at facebook.com/Tree. It's TREE underscore. No underscore. Just TREE0410. And I'm also at Twitter, at Tree_0410.
Okay, so of course it's only right for me to play your new single. If you want to introduce your new single, Summer Love, again, I'm going to drop that following our interview.
Alright, no doubt. This is Summer Love with Tree featuring Raycell. I hope you enjoy.
All right, thank you for showing up for the show. This is Connect to the one and only Jazzy J. We'll be right back, and we're grooving right here with Tree. All right.
Gotta feel this. Definitely hit in the head with this one, you know what I mean? Yeah. Something special. Something. Yeah. Yo, it was a late summer evening. I was feeling so sweet. I was counting down the minutes that we finally meet. After a few weeks of talking, I was still surprised how fast I fell in love with your beautiful eyes. So I'm getting out my ride, see you from a distance. You was looking so good, I couldn't help but listen to my heart. Just skip a beat. I'm getting nervous as hell. I think I'm getting cold feet. So I'm walking up to you. You smile and say, it's finally nice to meet you, baby. And how was your day? So I'm telling you my date, but I can't help but think how beautiful you are. I'm staring, I can't even blink. So you notice that I'm staring. You say it's okay. You say